Hello, 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 and welcome back to some Fire Emblem 3 Houses. So, we're going to get our support out of the way, and then we're going to finish this mission
Sorry,
off.
Claude. You can't go past.
Huh? Ah, Cyril, it's you. Is there a problem? It's not the first time I've been to the Holy Tomb. Rhea herself took me there once. Besides, the inside's been scoured by the Imperial Army. There's nothing left there now.
Don't matter. Lady Rhea said nobody could go in, so I can't let you through. I gotta do what Lady Rhea says. You wanna break them rules? Then you'll be her enemy. If you're trying to do that, I'll have to fight you.
Fine, I get it. I wouldn't hesitate to make an enemy of Rhea if it came to that. But I'd rather not fight with you. So I'll back off. For now.
Why is
Ready
that?
for now.
Does it matter?
Dunno. With your status, you could smack me to the ground and walk right over me.
I guess. But I wouldn't. We're friends.
I thought you were the kind of guy who'd smack down just about anybody if you needed to.
You really are a stubborn one. All right then, I'll tell you. I swore I'd change this world so that those without status are no longer oppressed. Though you were never one of the people I was hoping to save. I never knew that there were people in Elmira in your kind of situation. I realized that my own perspective was too narrow. You helped me realize that.
Okay.
So, I owe you.
Did you just say you're all about saving people who are oppressed? Really?
I did. Is it so strange to hear that from me?
It's just... You reminded me of Lady Rhea there for a second. Lady Rhea always tried to save us folks without any status in the world. Like when she let an outsider like me stay at the monastery. It was real nice. She brought in those kids from Remire Village when they lost their parents, and...
Well, I'm not a religious man. I'm sure Rhea wouldn't want to be lumped in with a guy like me.
Lady Rhea didn't do those things because the goddess told her she should. She did it because she wanted to. I can tell you that.
I see. In that case, maybe I don't need to make an enemy of her. Thanks, Cyril. I think you've brought me a step closer to my dream.
Thanks to you too, Claude. If I was able to help you, then that makes me happy.
Not bad, not bad. Right, Ignat and Cyril.
Hey, Ignatz. What you doing?
Cyril, hello. I was just looking outside. Are you off to work right now?
I'm gonna get a bucket and get rid of that big puddle everybody keeps walking around.
Oh, you're getting rid of the puddle over there? That's a
Okay.
shame.
Huh?
I've quite enjoyed looking at the puddle. But pay me no mind. The work needs doing. I know.
That's true.
Huh? What's so nice about it?
Well, look at it. With the addition of the puddle, the whole landscape has changed dramatically. Plus, it's perfectly unique. No two puddles are alike. Light will never again hit the water in quite that way. This whole landscape is unique, in fact. Here, now, for us to enjoy. It didn't exist a moment ago, and it won't exist in a moment.
I guess you're right, huh? Weird. I never thought about the rain that way. How it makes the world look different, and how that's kind of special, I mean.
Your mood just brightened, Cyril. And that made the world a little brighter, didn't it? And that's the other thing about looking at a landscape. The view is affected by the viewer's feelings.
Maybe you're right. When I remember it, I think Elmira was a real dull and lonely place. Once you're out of the city, there's nothing but the plains and sky, and they stretch on forever. You can lose yourself out there. That's the kind of place it is. It's strange. When I remember it now, even though it's lonely, it also seems real pretty too.
Maybe the image in your memories is affected by your emotional state. Anyway, it sounds fascinating. Endless plains, boundless sky. That's Elmira, huh? The thought of it makes my pulse quicken.
You're a big weirdo, Ignatz.
Am I?
Or see it?
I suppose I am.
Sitting around, talking about how pretty puddles are?
Well,
True.
when you put it like that. Still, I'd love to see Elmira someday. Cyril, after the war, would you go there with me? we can make some memories of your homeland that aren't all dull and lonely.
I don't know. Maybe, but yeah, I'll think about it.
That's my first one to go. Right, Lexitia and Cyril.
Hey, Cyril! Cyril?
Oh.
What is he staring at? I see. Hey! What are you looking at there? Anything interesting? Let me have a look. 3 apples, 2 bags of ointment, 1 piece of graphite. Intriguing.
Huh.
Some sort of code, perhaps?
Nah, I was just asked to go out and buy the stuff on this list.
Oh, that's all? Sorry for interrupting in that case. This is kind of a one-person job, so I won't bother you by offering aid.
Well, you actually helped a lot just now, reading that list for me like you did.
Oh.
I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't tell anybody, because I've been trying to keep it a secret, but I don't know how to read, so I wasn't sure what to do with the list.
Is that so? But why do you keep it a secret?
I'd hate it if people figured I wasn't up to a job just because I couldn't read.
You're always welcome to call on me for help. I'd be happy to.
Thanks.
Very nice.
I will.
I really mean that. Anything you need.
Okay.
Good. Now, you'd better go get those supplies before it gets dark. Do you remember everything on the list? Need me to read it one more time for you?
That would be pretty helpful, actually.
All right, listen up. I'm not gonna do this a 3rd time.
the hell?
Lysithia's not a good liar, is she? She knew I was in trouble right away. Hang on.
Oh.
Did she just want to act like a big sister again? But she looked real happy when she was helping me. And I think I'd like to see that smile again sometime.
That's nice. Right, Hilda and Delph, we'll start off with that one.
Hello, Hilda.
Oh, Sedith, good day.
Is it?
Oh, good day.
Did I do something wrong?
Not to my knowledge. But I cannot help but notice that you no longer shy away when I speak to you.
Oh,
You noticed
that is
that,
interesting.
huh? When you stare at me, I feel like you're peering into my soul.
And that no longer bothers you? Does that mean your conscience is finally clear?
Nah, I got used to it. I know you're not scary.
That's unfortunate.
Oh,
You really should do something to correct your lazy behavior.
Maybe that's true. I wouldn't want to be like the fox, forced to wander in the snow all winter.
I'm pleased to see you grasped the moral of the story.
Don't you think the squirrel was a little cold-hearted, though? He seems not to care about what happens to his friend, as long as he himself is happy.
You know, that is a valid point. I have no wish to encourage that attitude in children. Perhaps if the fox only survives thanks to the squirrel kindly sharing some of his acorns. How does that sound to you?
I like it okay. I'm sure the kids will admire that nice, compassionate squirrel.
Thank you for your insight. As it happens,
Very
I
interesting
have some
insight.
other stories that I wrote for Flame. Would you like to hear them?
You should make a book out of them. It's a shame that only Flane and I get to enjoy them.
true.
What a fine idea! I will begin immediately. Though I feel such a book requires illustrations, and I have no artistic talent. Would you lend me a hand?
I think Ignatz might be a better choice, but I can probably manage. Not like they need to be terribly fancy.
I could use some more of your wisdom with regard to the content of the stories also.
That sounds like a pain, but I'm invested in this now. Let's do it!
Excellent! That's wonderful to hear. Let us produce the very best book we can, for the children's sake.
Yeah, for the children's sake.
You look so excited. I can't help but lend a hand.
Okay, Helden status is done. Now we've got to go through Helden Cyril.
Ah, Cyril. Cleaning again, I
Or
see.
Cyril, I can never say his
Hilda,
name.
you're in the way. Move it.
I'm supposed to refill the horses' water troughs, but I can't find the buckets. I was told that they'd be in the usual place. What's the usual place?
Maybe you'd know where that is if you did your job sometime.
You know, Cyril, I don't want to interrupt you while you're cleaning, but...
But
Come on, the buckets are over near the wall, where they always are, because I put them there.
Okay. Thanks for your help. You're pretty strong. I bet you're tired, though. Come on, let's rest a bit.
Okay, just for a minute though. I got more work to do.
okay, okay.
I'm not a fan of awkward silences. Anything interesting happen lately?
Figured you were the one with something to say. Quiet don't bother me.
I need an interesting topic for this letter I'm writing to my brother. I'm stumped.
Your brother write to you a lot?
Constantly. Yeah, he must be bored. He's always going on about how worried he is for me. What's worse, if I take too long to reply, he gets more worried and writes more about it.
Write about your life, maybe. You know, stuff like, I got real lazy again today. Or maybe, can you believe I still don't know where they put the water buckets?
You're mean. Do you really think that little of me?
That's how
You're
he
a lazy
does.
gal who gets people to do her work for her. I never knew anybody like that in Elmira.
Oh, really? So Lady Rhea isn't the only difference between Fodlan and Elmira after all?
I don't like comparing Lady Rhea with you, but I figure you're right. But you know what's real weird? Nobody seems to mind picking up your slack. Even me.
Sorry, what was that?
Nothing worth repeating. Anyway, I gotta get back to work.
He's
Okay.
such a diligent boy. I don't think I've ever seen someone from Fodlan work that hard. Oh, hang on. I never got an idea from him about what to write in my letter. Ugh. I guess there's nothing for it. Maybe I can just write about Cyril.
Right, you could, you could. Okay. We've got Leone and Cyril.
Today was a great
Oh,
day
Santa.
for fishing, wasn't it?
It was, though I did lose to you in numbers.
You won on size, though. Some of these fish are huge. And it was you who caught this beauty.
Which one?
It is a lovely specimen. The fins are rather like wings, and the scales are reminiscent of a lustrous rainbow. But I have heard this type of fish does not taste good.
I see.
It's a little bland, but it's not bad. You just need to fry it in oil to bring the flavor out. There are lots of little bones, too, so you need to be careful eating it.
You truly are an expert, Leone. I would be delighted if you would cook for us again.
Happily. You know, once this war's over, I'll be able to make even more elaborate dishes. I'm sure none of it will compare to your wife's cooking, though.
Entirely different styles. I very much look forward to seeing what you come up with. Yet another reason to end this war swiftly.
I'm flattered, but that doesn't seem like a good motivation to fight.
On the contrary, it is better than the usual reasons. In the heat of battle, it is little details like a friend's cooking that I reach for to find my courage.
I have to say, I didn't expect that from you. You're always so serious. But I really value our fishing time, too. With all the chaos, it's great to have a way to relax.
I hope there will come a time when we can fish like this without worry, to our heart's content.
Hope's not enough. We need to build that future with our own hands.
Agreed.
Okay.
But even after that is done, you had better not rest idle. I've grown quite fond of your cooking.
Don't worry, there's plenty more where that came from. Speaking of, time to handle today's haul.
Let me lend you a hand.
Okay, now we've got Seraph and Ottoman.
So you are there, Hanneman.
Well, say, are those crest documents? Ah, Seteth, have you finally decided to cooperate with my
Definitely not.
research?
Absolutely not. For 21 years I have refused your requests. I have no intention of changing my mind.
I understand
But
why.
I will lend you these documents I have found, on the condition that you stop following me.
I am quite tempted by the offer, but your cooperation would be of much greater value.
Really?
Your crest, the major crest of Keyhole, is so rare. As far as I am aware, Seth, you are the only person ever confirmed to bear that particular crest. How did you come to possess it?
My answer is the same as every other time you have asked. I do not know. I was born a commoner, with no connections to any crests. There are no records of my lineage.
Oh, please. That thin explanation could never discourage me. You must understand, I will dig until I find the truth, no matter how long it takes.
You are wasting your time. I cannot give you the answers you seek. Even if you were to discover the reason why I bear the major crest of Keyhole, I doubt it would satisfy you.
That is for me alone to decide. And even if you are correct, that confirmation itself would be a valuable discovery. Such is the way of research, yes?
I'm afraid I cannot attest to that. I'm no scholar. In any case, if you really have no need for the documents, you will not mind if I dispose of them.
Let's not do anything hasty now. I will leave you alone, for now. But I am taking these documents with me. Once I complete my research on these papers, it'll be your turn, Seteth. I will learn the truth of your crest.
It is a pointless endeavor.
Thanks, look.
You will learn nothing from me, no matter how much you try.
Perhaps his stubborn nature is one of the effects of his crest. Now that would be an interesting discovery. The first
Okay.
stage of my research will be to decipher his personality.
So there we go, Setup and Hanneman. And finally, Hanneman and Manuela.
Manuela, I would like to apologize. The other day, I said some things to you that I am, well, not proud of in the least.
Oh no.
Oh, why's that?
It is I who should be apologizing. I behaved in just the most dreadful manner. I was just lashing out at everything. You were right to call me out. Really. And I do very much mean this. I'm so sorry for my behavior.
No, please, pay it no mind. Actually, I'm thankful for what you said during our conflict.
Thankful?
Yes, you made me realize that I have a somewhat meddlesome nature. Thanks to you, I believe I found an area in which I can improve myself.
I could say the same thing, you know. Your accusations, they really hit home. After I cooled down, I realized you were right. I really ought to try and keep my emotions a bit more under control.
Well, that's good to hear.
They're forgiving.
It seems this wasn't a fruitless clash for either of us.
Oh, indeed. There's nothing more depressing than a pointless fight, is there?
No.
Don't you wonder, though, just how many times we've had this same argument?
We do always seem to be at one another's throats before we even realize it. I don't know how we manage to keep it up.
You're not wrong. Something the matter, Hanneman?
Well, it's just... you don't smile like that very often. But when you do, it is quite charming.
Oh?
Perhaps your struggles in love are due to your reliance on false affection instead of your more natural charms.
Well, thank you for the compliment. Even if you did have to spoil it with criticism. If you weren't so judgmental all the time, maybe you'd have had more luck in romance yourself.
Uh-huh.
Manuela, as your friend, I was only trying to give you a useful bit of advice.
And that so-called advice is exactly why I call you meddlesome and overbearing. And
There it
there's
is.
Hannah.
And there they argue
Who's
again.
going to
To
stop being
protest,
so
even when she
meddlesome?
knows the fault lies with the
Right. Well, let's get to explore. See what there is out today.